Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. Recently, we've dedicated some episodes on attracting, manifesting, materializing money and prosperity into your life. And we have looked at this from several different angles, from gratitude to financial independence to overcoming money blocks. I want to talk about the secret science of attracting money a little bit further, sort of incorporating many of the things that we've learned so far. I still get requests to talk about different aspects of this. And like anything, if you study any topic, it becomes more and more intricate and complicated as you study and research it. How do we attract money? And what is the secret science of attracting money? In order to learn how to attract money, we are going to need to learn about what money is. This is often a troublesome and emotionally charged topic. Even my use of the word money has probably triggered something within you. You see, most of us grow up with a ton of misinformation about money. We don't truly understand what it's all about. And thus we walk around with limiting beliefs that stop us from attracting the benefits that come with money. In many societies, wealth and money are only something that comes in abundance to those that are of a higher social standing. The kings and queens of our past are known for being the wealthiest humans on the planet. We have grown to know money as this extremely valuable and limited resource that's incomparable to everything else. However, this isn't necessarily the truth. Like everything in the universe, money is just energy. The only difference money has to everything else we have in our lives is the meaning that we put behind it. What I think of money is different than what you think of money. So what is the meaning of money? When this meaning represents everything from freedom, security, even happiness to some people, it's no wonder the absence of money causes so much emotional and mental turmoil. At its core, money is about power. Money is vital and crucial to our survival, and is a source of power used in service of others and a life well lived. We've all seen how money can have the power to create or the power to destroy. It can fund a dream or start a war. It can provide money as a gift or wield it as a weapon. It can be used as an expression of your spirit, your creativity, your ideas, or your frustration, your anger, your hate. It can be used to influence governments, individuals. Some people marry for it, and then they find out the true meaning of money. With all these meanings of money, it's no wonder the absence of money causes so much emotional and mental turmoil. It's one of the main fears in life is a fear of poverty or a lack of money. The sad fact is that most of these limiting beliefs are carried around in the subconscious. Most people believe that our conscious mind contains all the information we have in our brain, when the fact is that it composes less than 10%. As we learned from Joseph Murphy, the subconscious mind is creating the reality in our world around us, and these limiting beliefs are creating the world that we see. Becoming aware of our subconscious thoughts and behaviors is definitely a good, important first step in the right direction to the secret science of attracting money. However, if awareness empties our cup of false knowledge, we need to make sure we refill it with truthful knowledge and wisdom. In other words, awareness alone is not enough. It needs to be paired with understanding. When we combine the two, our understanding of the reality of money becomes aligned with universal truth, and thus we begin to recognize what it really takes to manifest more of it into our lives. Money is one of the primary ways we turn our dreams that we have into the reality that we live. Yet, in the end, money is not what we're after. We're really after the feelings, the emotions that money can create. The feeling of freedom, of empowerment, of security, of helping those we love, to feel alive, to having choice. Even if money is just a perception, an abstract concept, it doesn't feel that way when you don't have enough of it. Tony Robbins likes to say, with money, you either use it or it uses you. You either master money or on some level, money masters you. How you deal with money reflects how you deal with power. Is it an affliction or a blessing, a game or a burden? What we know is that the universe is infinitely expanding. All things are increasing around us. Nature naturally pushes us for increase in all things, as Wallace Wattles describes in The Science of Getting Rich. If everything in the universe is infinitely expanding, why does our financial status need to be any different? The ordinary way people look at money is as a source of accumulation. If I were to give you $100,000 right now, what is the first thing that pops into your head? You think about all the bills you could repay, all the debt you could pay down, how much would be left over for you to buy fancy clothes or a new TV set? Or do you simply smile and continue doing what you're doing? The former is a particularly addictive cycle of thought. The limiting beliefs surrounding money convince us that it is an extension of who we are. The more money we have, the more things we can buy. Thus, the more value others will see in us. When money becomes the main metric at which people define their identity, all connection with their limitless source is lost. The power of choice is what frees us. The shape of your perspective around your current financial situation is what will determine your destined reality. When it comes to money, you can view it from one of two places, lack or abundance. Often two people can carry out the same action, but the perspective behind those actions could be very different. You are continually moving through a vibration of thought that is reflection of the unseen world around you. Money might be a valuable resource in the physical realm, but in the unseen, non-physical realm, it's just energy. It is something that holds a particular vibrational frequency to it. You have a choice when it comes to dictating whether you're in alignment with this frequency or not. Everything in the universe is made up of energy, and all these energies are interconnected in the quantum field. The quantum field is an invisible energy field containing all of the non-physical electromagnetic information that governs the laws of nature and attraction. The moment you realize that the energy of money is no different from the energy of everything else, you'll begin to manifest more of it into your reality, and that is the secret science of attracting money. Central to the economic thesis of money is value. Those that provide others with a ton of perceived value receive their share of money. The value that someone provides is always subjective. Therefore, there is never a concrete definition for how valuable money really is. For example, let's say a world-renowned chef and restaurant owner created a lottery to see who gets to have dinner with them in one of their finest restaurants for free. During this dinner, they will talk about what it's like to run a restaurant, how they became such an excellent chef, what their most important lessons are, and how they would do it again if they were to start back from zero. Now let's take a look at two different people that would win this lottery. The first person is the aspiring chef that just started culinary school and has a dream of becoming a popular chef in their hometown and owning their own restaurant. Getting the chance to meet one of their idols would elevate their knowledge of the industry and propel them towards fulfilling their dream. The other person is a mechanic that can't really distinguish the difference in taste between burgers or fast food restaurants or sirloin steak. For them, food is food. Couldn't care less about what the famous chef has to say. Notice there is a perceived difference in the value of the lottery prize. For one person, it could be a life-changing experience, and for the other, totally insignificant and irrelevant, just free food. Now, I'm giving you this example to remove the idea that money has a certain level of value out of your head, because in reality, it doesn't. This just makes it much more important to get in alignment with your desires and stop worrying about the money itself. If I ask you, you want to buy a new house, what do you want to buy it for? You might say that freedom or the location, the environment, to have more space or room. So really, you're trying to manifest the house, not the money to buy it. So, in order to create perceived value, you need to understand people's desires. This is what drives the flow of money and exchange. Money is not valuable just because it's money. Money is valuable because it means something for the individual that desires it. For many people, it means freedom, security, comfort, even happiness. These intrinsic meanings people place behind money is exactly what stops them from manifesting it into their lives. If you don't have money, does this mean you have no freedom? No security, no comfort and happiness? If this is your belief, then this is exactly what will reflect in your reality. If you believe you can have freedom, security, comfort, and happiness regardless if you need money or not, that's exactly what you will experience. Money is just a tool, and it only magnifies what is already present within you. If you happen to be miserable before having a lot of money, you're going to be even more miserable after you accumulate it. Money will make it easier for you to be miserable. In fact, you can literally buy your way to more misery. All in all, focus on the intrinsic value that money can provide for you, because this is what puts you in alignment vibrationally with your desires. Placing your focus on the accumulation of a piece of paper will forever keep you out of alignment with your truth. So we've discussed some new perspectives on money. The first being that money is energy. I have discussed this in previous episodes, and Quo even refers to money as energy. So we know that money is energy, and its value is nothing more or less than subjective. Now let's talk about where the money that you want to manifest comes from. You've ever read anything surrounding the law of attraction or manifestation, chances are that you're probably carrying a few incorrect beliefs in your mind as to what these really are and how they work. Many people try to manifest something in their lives and look at this as the process of creating something that does not exist. So when I say we are creators, it implies that you can create using what's already available to you, not that you need to create from scratch. Sometimes our limiting beliefs come about because our language doesn't have adequate words to truly express the intention behind them. Jesus creates the food from the loaves and the fishes. He does it from something he already has. There are numerous mystical and biblical examples of creating from what you already have. The law of attraction is not about creating from nothing. The truth of our existence is that we're currently experiencing a single reality from an infinite number of them. The area of quantum physics isn't fully understood. I've tried to understand it. However, what we do know is that in the quantum scale of things past, present, and future exist all at once. Niels Bohr was the first scientist to discover and study the behavior of particles that exist in the quantum field. This field refers to particles that are infinitesimally small. Up to that point, physics functioned on the basis of Newtonian laws. I'm not going to get into the specifics of these laws. I do that in some other episodes, and they're probably beyond the scope of this episode. In short, Newtonian physics works because our basic assumptions of particles existing in space is that their position can be pinpointed. Think of a large planet in the solar system. In space, it is possible to point to it and say that it exists. However, these large bodies are composed of much smaller particles. As we begin to dive deeper into their structure, we begin to see that Newtonian physics breaks down. Bohr observed that the deeper one goes into the structure of things, the more one finds the existence of vibration. Atoms, molecules, and various subatomic particles vibrate constantly. They vibrate so fast that they exist in multiple places all at once. Think of a rubber band that has been stretched. If you were to pull one of the bands and let it go, the band will begin vibrating. Watch the band closely and you'll see that it vibrates so quickly that it seems to exist in two places at once. Now imagine a subatomic particle vibrating at speeds 1,000,000 times faster than this. And consider that our bodies and everything else we see in front of us are composed of these vibrating particles. In short, we appear solid, but we're not. We're just a huge mass of vibrating particles that are present in different points all at once. And if we're a mass of vibrating subatomic particles, this means we are presently experiencing multiple realities at once. Our brains are receiving one of these realities, but the truth is that our perception is just one small part of an infinite number of realities. Through the power of choice, we can choose to perceive another reality that is just as valid as the one we choose to ignore. There is a simultaneous reality where you have all the money you want and are living the life you desire. There is one where you don't have everything you desire but have enough money. There is one where you are even worse off than you are now. Through the power of choice, we perceive these different realities and bring them into our current existence. This is what manifestation and attraction is. We can only bring into reality things that already exist. The money you seek is already out there. The past, present, and future exist simultaneously in the present moment. By harnessing your power to focus, which is really a power of choice, you create your present reality. Even in the worst of times, you have a choice. All the realities are still available to you. When it comes to money, you can always choose to focus what is already existing in another version of reality. This isn't about creating wealth in your life. It's about shifting your focus to the wealth that is already present in your life. That is what true manifestation is. It's a subtle shift in mindset that you need to carry out in order to be successful. There is infinite potentials in the field. We can't perceive it because our minds are not designed or haven't enough evolution to be able to comprehend multiple realities at once. We are still slaves to time and live according to the clock. However, the reality of the universe is that time is not real. According to Einstein, the theory of relativity, a person who travels through space at the speed of light will experience time very differently from one back on Earth. You don't need to be a student of physics to understand this. Think back to the moment when you were completely absorbed in what you were doing. You weren't thinking consciously, but you were simply being. Could have been you were doing something you love, or you were watching a TV show or something. Did time exist? Were you conscious of how the clock was moving? Did you look up at the clock and think how time flew? Time is elastic and depends on our perception. It is simply a dimension of our world, much like distance is. You could be on the other side of the planet from someone you love and still be close to them. Focus is what matters. Choice is how we exercise focus. And this moves into different realities that already exist. Manifestation is simply a process of exercising our choice to move into these infinite realities and realizing all the positives and negatives inherent in each reality. Wealth is the recognition that you have an abundance of resources at your disposal now. Choosing to live in this reality will inevitably open your eyes to opportunities, partnerships, and people that contain within them hidden money miracles. Once you start making better choices, you'll begin to see that your life, indeed everyone's life, exists in a loop. This loop keeps moving between our perceptions, emotions, and actions. This reality loop is what defines the universal framework within which we experience our lives. If you look at the current physical reality, this is your everyday life right now. This is shaped by our beliefs about our world and influences in how we continue to think, feel, and act. Everyone's perspective of reality is slightly different from one another. Even if we've had similar lives, we are all a unique expression, a snowflake of the universe. Therefore, no two people will perceive something in the exact same way. Words can never describe the differences you can find in each person's perspective. Before physical manifestation changes your beliefs, you unconsciously place a meaning onto it based on the perspective that you have. You define the world in a certain way. How you see things is how you define them. Your power of choice is an essential part of shifting your reality around money and what meanings that you're giving to the things around you. By changing your beliefs and your emotional responses, you change the vibrational frequency and pull you into a different reality. Your vibrational frequency helps you move from one reality to another. Our thoughts and emotions create our unique vibrational signature, which creates a reality loop that is responsible for attracting physical manifestations of our desires into our lives from the unseen world. Your vibrational frequency helps you move. It always is. This is the law. Resonance is the law, and it's a phenomenon where an object can be induced into movement by placing it close to something else that is vibrating at its natural frequency. For example, a bridge that runs between 2 points has a natural vibrational frequency. When armies march over bridges, they are ordered to break, march, and to walk in an unsynchronized pattern because the boots marching at the same frequency as the bridge have the potential to trigger its collapse. One notorious bridge disaster in the United States occurred when the Tacoma Narrows Bridge in Washington began to twist and turn by itself because the wind was vibrating at a frequency that was equal to the resonant frequency of the bridge. Thus, the bridge began moving of its own accord. So in order to manifest a reality, you have to vibrate at its resonant frequency. When you do this with your desired one, synchronicities and opportunities start to show up. They will be unexpected, hidden, and often very difficult to recognize. This is why awareness and focus is so important. If you're focused on your desired manifestation, you'll notice when they appear. Recently, we spent a wonderful weekend talking about the large sums of money mindset, and there is a vibrational frequency for this mindset that you can tune yourself into, and once you become resonant with it, it starts to appear in your life. That is that you're so happy and grateful that large sums of money come to you easily, effortlessly, and quickly, and increasing, expanding, and accelerating quantities from multiple and varied sources on a continuous and consistent basis in the best interest of all, with the free will of all that you get to keep, give, spend, invest, and circulate joyously. This is a blueprint that you can root into your prosperity existence, an idea that money is flowing to you easily and quickly from multiple sources, and it's creating a joyful, wonderful feeling as you give, keep, and spend it. This reality exists, and it requires you to resonate with that frequency. Now that your reality is beginning to change, your beliefs are starting to shift. This is how reality reinforces itself, and it becomes a loop, because you see it and then it becomes a loop. You see it and you start to vibrate with it. For some, that's why it can seem like you're in a never-ending financial struggle, because you vibrate with the struggle and then it continues in a loop. It's also why when good things happen to you, they seem to happen continuously, as if you're on a roll. This repeated cycle creates what is called momentum. Limiting beliefs will create a limited reality. These internal beliefs will constantly be reinforced because that's what's being confirmed in your external reality. That is why breaking free of this momentum is so difficult. Once you start to think limitlessly, your reality will test you. It will reflect back to you the beliefs and vibrations of your old identity. One way to break free from this is to recognize that physical manifestations have a delay. In other words, your desired reality will most of the time not manifest instantaneously, but it seems to be getting faster and faster. You need to walk past a couple of realities that were a reflection of the old you before you begin to experience reflections of the new you. So as you start this process and you vibrate within this new blueprint, things begin to change. You're vibrating like the bridge, and you're entering into the vibration of something that's equivalent to. Now, you may have blocks, negative emotions, a scarcity mindset, victim mindset, old patterns, that affect your ability to enter into this vibration, to vibrate in the same sector of reality. These patterns can affect your ability to tune into that. So you must tune in to a feeling that goes beyond just the money and what you think of it, but the feeling of freedom, of prosperity, of joy, that you would connect with receiving large sums of money on a continuous basis with momentum that gives you the freedom that you need. You have the power of choice to choose the reality that you want. It is the most important thing that we possess, being able to consciously direct our focus to things that bring us joy and happiness. It is a superpower. So I'm calling upon you to induce a vibrational mindset that is the equivalent of the prosperity that you want to experience. Once you tune into this with your vision, with your mentality, with your actions and your feelings, you'll be given inspiration and impulses that move you towards this vibration. That is the secret science of attracting money. It's tuning into the vibration of the reality that you want to experience. And it's not about a certain amount of money. It's about the feeling that you're tuning into. It's the feeling of empowerment, of security, of freedom. That is the secret science. As you're moving into the quantum field with your mind, you're remembering that while you're aware of this one reality that you're in now, others open up to you, and you are simply moving towards that reality that you want. You can find it through visualization. You can find it through daydreaming. The more you think, act, and move towards this experience of prosperity, the more you move into its vibration. It is a feeling. It is not what is on the ledger. It is not a dollar amount. It is a feeling, and that's the science. I have personally found that carrying an attitude of expectation will continue to push you towards that reality. But if you have attachment or create importance as to the outcome of something in particular, attachment implies movement beyond mere expectation, and the state of expectation is characterized by allowing the arrival of something you know is coming. By adding attachment or importance, you are tying your self-worth and identity to the outcome. When we create reality, we're part of a larger ecosystem. Everything that you've created has a portion of reality that has been created by someone else. You're not alone. If you're working a job and you visualize earning a higher salary, you need your boss to cooperate with your vision. So you're co-creating. Given the infinite number of ways in which people interact with one another, this means there are an infinite number of ways in which money can come to you. Attaching yourself to one particular vision or expectation removes this infinite possibility from your life. So be open to receive, be open and aware of your movement through this reality, but don't attach yourself or create importance which can distort your movement into this vibration. Confirm whatever you see that confirms what you want. So if you start to receive a large sum of money, feel grateful and confirm that. If you start to receive money that is continuous, confirm that. By acting in confirmation, you create a confirmation bias. We confirm our manifestations are happening. Your words also have power. There is a language of success. And so you should affirm the success that you want in your life with the words that you use. Money is only a tool. It will take you wherever you wish, but it will not replace you as the driver. So how do you define money, and what does it mean to you? What is it you're trying to experience? What sort of emotions are you trying to experience? Tie yourself to that vibrational pattern and move into that reality.